The film Paris, Texas, which came out in 1984, was directed by Wim Wenders and filmed by cinematographer Robbie Mueller. Wenders and Mueller left nothing up to chance in the creation of this film. Every choice in angle, shot framing, and coloring had purpose. The staging of the film was planned well before the movie was actually shot. In an interview with Mueller, he explains how his approach to photographing a film begins with understanding its meaning, creating emotional and cerebral connections between the narrative and visuals, and ultimately, the film and its audience. All of this planning for the staging of the film can be better analyzed through mise-en-scène. Mise-en-scène, as defined by Barsom and Monahan in Looking at Movies, literally means staging or putting on an action or scene. Mise-en-scène has two major visual components, design and composition. Essentially, design is the process by which the look of the settings, props, lighting, and actors is determined. Composition is the organization, distribution, balance, and general relationship of actors and objects within the space of each shot. Right now, we are going to look at design, and more specifically, color, within the film Paris, Texas. Color is an interesting facet of a film to study because it can be presented in many different ways. It can be seen in the clothing of the actors and actresses, on props and backdrops, and it can even be seen in the lighting that a director chooses to use. There can be lighter and darker hues of the same color, implying different moods for the audience. Color not only gives directors and cinematographers a lot to play with creatively, but it also gives viewers a lot to digest and take apart analytically as they try to interpret the meaning of the film. Colors can oftentimes have universal themes. Orange, for example, is generally associated with enthusiasm, happiness, success, determination, and more. In the 1972 film The Godfather, director Francis Ford Coppola makes frequent use of the color orange in both lighting and props. This romantic light is calming, but it gradually transitions into red throughout the film as more is revealed within the crime underworld. All this implying that red may be a color of conflict. Paris, Texas features several major colors: red, white, blue, and green. It is no coincidence that red, white, and blue all have a major presence in this film. The colors of the American lifestyle and the American dream are evident. The colors are plastered everywhere, from the outfits of characters to the paint on houses to the natural landscapes. The opening scene of the film introduces us to the colors red, white, and blue. Travis, a worn-down man, is seen walking aimlessly through a Texas desert wearing a bright red baseball cap. The cap itself juxtaposes the rest of his outfit, a pinstripe black and white suit that doesn't seem to match his surroundings in the slightest. And lastly, the bright blue sky meets the horizon of the desert. Everything about the opening scene causes viewers confusion and instills a sense of curiosity as to how Travis got into this situation in the first place. Right off the bat, red is associated with conflict. Shortly after this scene, we see Travis merge with civilization and reality. As this occurs, a new color is introduced: green. The bar he stumbles into welcomes him with a greenly lit billiards room, and he wakes up in the doctor's office to an intensely lit green room. This stark contrast from red, white, and blue to green seems to represent a clashing of cultures or ideals. The green seems to cause a sense of tension, uncertainty, and uneasiness for Travis as he interacts with civilization. As the film progresses, red, white, and blue continue to dominate scenes through outfits and scenery. Travis's family is frequently seen depicting the American dream, with their fast-paced lifestyle out in Los Angeles and a house that overlooks the city, to the clothing they wear. This repetition in colors helps to create familiar images throughout the film. Familiar image is defined by film theorist Stefan Scharf as any image that a director periodically repeats in a movie, with or without variations, to help stabilize its narrative. The colors within the American trio do stand by themselves throughout the film. As stated earlier, red represents conflict, both internal and external. Blue, on the other hand, is calming and signifies peace, at least for a moment. For example, when Walt and Travis arrive at a motel on their first day together, the walls are painted blue. This creates a sense of calmness, countering all of the red that has been depicted thus far. Travis is typically depicted wearing red to show the internal conflict he is facing as he returns to his past life and is forced to face the son he abandoned and the wife he left many years ago. The color green is often meant to juxtapose red. Some will argue that the two are at odds and green creates suspense. Others will say that green represents more peaceful times. I argue that green simply represents a progression of the plot, or that an important moment is about to occur. For example, green is first introduced in the doctor's office when Travis transitions from the desert to civilization. This is a big moment for the plot since the audience still doesn't know anything about Travis. We don't know what is going to happen. Green is again seen when Travis's brother Walt is calling his wife and son at the payphone to inform them that he has Travis. Here we watch and wait for the reaction of Hunter as Walt tells him that Travis is his real father. Yet another example of green juxtaposing the red tones in the film is when Travis is walking into the seedy bar where Jane works. This vital moment to the plot line has the ability to dictate the direction of the rest of the film. Will Travis and Jane reunite? Will they make up? Will they fight? The green here continues to create uncertainty. And lastly, the movie ends in a scene bathed in green light. Travis stands alone in the parking lot as he watches Jane and Hunter reunite in the hotel above him. He then drives away without any explanation as to where he is going. The green, once more, represents uncertainty. At all of these points, the direction of the film has to go in one way or another. The plot is changing. Green keeps us, the audience, on our toes. We know when we see the color green that some change or event is about to occur. Wim Wenders' Paris, Texas uses mise-en-scène in order to create impactful scenes in every frame of the movie. Mueller and Wenders especially made use of a strong color scheme in order to create significance without using any words. Through creative costume design, set design, lighting, and more, they were able to create a world of meaning through the colors red, white, blue, and green.